been looking forward to this. We're going out today with our special guest, a friend of ours named Cassie Willis. We met Cassie a few months back at the fishing show and have, several mutual friends, and just, she's gone through a tough time the last few years. In 2007, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer and actually beat the cancer. And then in 2012, she had cancer come back again, and this time in her bladder. So for the past, 6-7 years, it's been back and forth, and she's gone through chemo, and the cancer will disappear for a while, and then it comes back. And so you can just imagine that, it's a tough deal to go through. But despite it all, she's always smiling, always seems to be upbeat, and just a fun person to be around. So really looking forward to getting her out here on the water and getting out here and having a good time, Texas boy style. We were hoping we'd find a good topwater bite at this first spot, but there wasn't a lot of bait activity and the fish just weren't eating. So we loaded back up and headed to our second spot. Cassie was starting to talk some trash, so we decided to have a little contest and see who could catch the most fish. Wouldn't you know it, since we're having a contest, of course it's Cassie that catches the first fish and gets on the board first.
One. I like something more than Taco Bell.
Funny. Well, she may not want Taco Bell, but if she does beat me in the contest, which she won't, but if she does, it'll probably be more like a bait shop turkey sandwich or a Bolero hot dog. Be careful what you wish for. So we're starting to get a few bites, the fish are starting to eat, and I miss one, and I turn, and Greg got a good blow up on his topwater, and he's fighting one, and things are starting to look pretty good. And what can I say about our buddy Greg Francis? Greg's with Saltwater Assault, just a great guy, and really knows West Galveston Bay as good as anybody. It's pretty much been his backyard for years, so good guy to go fishing with, always a good time, and just, great fisherman, so you can't beat that. Well, after missing a few early on, I finally get hooked up, and it's a good one. But I quickly learned it might be a little too good, and I don't think this is a trout or redfish. What we have here, I think, is a big old jack. Some of the toughest fish in the water, but not quite what I'm looking for. He's going to work this braid, I think, too. If I get him to turn around. So strong. I think it's a big Jack Crevalle, probably about 25 or 30 pounds.
Yeah, look out there, look out there.
Yeah, that's him. That's probably him. Well, these jacks may not be much at the dinner table, but they can sure put up a fight. And a lot of times, as you can see here, they'll school up. A lot of times when you catch one, there's several jacks around. They'll compete for food sometimes. So some pretty cool footage here. These jacks just blowing up on top of the water, including the one I'm fighting. And if you're not careful, man, these things will completely spoil your line. So as you can see, I'm trying to just go ahead and get you to break off or do something so I can get out there and try to catch some trout or redfish. Because you mess with these guys, you'll spend half an hour trying to get them in. Just super, super strong fish.
Gulf Coast Auto Park has you covered. Whether you're commuting to work or looking for a rugged 4x4 to get you to your favorite hunting or fishing spot, we deliver. Trucks, cars, and SUVs, we've got them all. 7 great makes all in one place, so why go anywhere else? Doing business the right way for over 20 years. We service all makes and models with a full-service collision shop on site. Stop by Gulf Coast Auto Park or shop our full line of new and used vehicles online today.
Then I'm just going to start smoking them. Captain Greg wasn't messing around. hard hit, I'm gonna freak out. That wasn't too bad. That would have been hilarious. I'm all talking smack and it's been all hard hit. Little trout. Right up and told me where to cast. Wasn't joking. We decided to make another move a little bit further down the shoreline. We'd seen quite a bit of bait working, and that turned out to be the ticket. Greg and I started hooking up pretty consistently, and more importantly, I'm now up 2-1 over Cassie in our little contest. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, got these tidal surge split tails in there. I'm trying to whack it on. A little bit better one. Or maybe. We got a little friendly competition going on, we were saying earlier. And the loser's got to buy lunch, and so far, I'm just going to throw out a number. It's 3-1. Cassie's, well, he's only either it's second and last, however you want to look at it. Greg's winning, but we don't count him. He's supposed to beat us, so pressure's on for lunch. Now I'm just going to come down to where I just really got to figure out where I want to go eat. Did you get that? Being an athlete, I have to catch athletic trout. Or ex-athlete. I'm a YMCA athlete. Don't let that count. Alright, Greg, you were saying to go right here through the side, both sides? You learn something every day. I used to always do the same thing when I was stringing these trout. And Captain Greg was saying you go right here through the side, come out this side, and it allows them to close their mouths when they're in water. They just stay alive a lot longer and a little bit fresher. Well, you guys stay tuned and let's see if Cassie can make a comeback and catch up to old Texas Roy.
The Luge Tournament Pro G is all about performance. G is for new generation, where everything is lighter, faster, stronger. 6.2 ounces light, with a no-flex one-piece aluminum frame, 11 premium double-shielded stainless bearings, and external adjust speed casts centrifugal braking, plus a patent-pending Speed Keeper hook keeper that's built in, and speed dial line indicator to remind you of what line and weight you've spooled. It's all in the new Lose Tournament Pro G. You will feel the difference.
You probably noticed, but that wind's picked up and it is pumping pretty good at this point. But sometimes the wind don't matter. If those fish are hungry and going to eat, they're going to eat whether it's blowing or not. That's exactly what was going on. We were on fish pretty good. And it looks like Cassie was starting to catch up to Roy. It's going to come down to the wire this last hour of fishing. Let's see who can get it done. Boy, found some shell. These trout are just tearing these title surge split tails up. Haven't caught any big trout today, but we're catching some I think there's not a better eating fish in the bay than speckled trout. We're catching the ideal eating size, 16, 18 inches. Typically if I catch one over 20, I don't think they taste as good. The blades are a bit thick and usually release them. But these here are primo for the frying pan. Beautiful fish.
Started off this morning throwing some topwaters. Had a hard time getting to hit topwaters. We had a few this morning, a few blow-ups, but not exactly what we were looking for. So decided to come over here on these shell pads. We're over here in Chocolate Bay right now. We came in on the first shell pad, we saw some slicks, and figured we'd jump out and try it, bounce some plastic 8-ounce lead heads, and it's been working. We're not getting any big ones, but we're getting some solid keepers, 16, 17-inch fish. But the key right in here right now is we're just keying in on slicks. Find the slicks, find the fish.
I think I'm gonna release these, so hopefully he didn't eat it too fast. Might be undersized anyway. Let's see these little acrobats. Chill out, homie. Yeah, he's gonna be. They're whacking these title surge. He's a little bit small. That's a little bit bigger one, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it red? You got it red.
best built boat that I've ever had. I've tried every boat that there is in my fishing career. I've been a fishing guide since '74. Haneys are tough, they're fast, they're efficient, and everything's good for them for us. They have several different kind of boats, and we've got them all. We've got 2 or 3 different kind of Haneys, and for every application, we've got one.
Haney is #1 on the water.
Haney boats, #1 on the water, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Haney boats are #1.
All right, had a really good time out here on Galveston West Bay. We've got Captain Greg Francis with Saltwater Assault and Cassie Willis over from Hook Spit. Started off a little slow, caught some on top water, but the bite just wasn't real good. They just weren't eating real good, so we bounced around some, and about 10 o'clock in the morning, Greg had us on some oyster shell. Well, that was the ticket. Started smoking them, caught, I think we got a couple limits of trout. Just had a real good day, real good time with good friends. That's how we do it here at Texas Boys Outdoors. And as far as our little competition today, had a real close race. Cassie started out smoking me at first, but like I usually do, I come back in the clutch and bounce back. So then we finished 9 trout to 7, so Cassie owes me lunch. Gonna head out, and I think we're gonna go, I'm gonna try to find the most expensive place in Galveston. That's where we're gonna go eat, probably steak and shrimp. So. Nice and cool this morning. We're gonna get out with our buddy Chris Lee, who's actually a United States Navy veteran. And some of you guys that follow the show might remember that about a year ago, we took out Chris and his son Billy Lee on a fishing trip in East Bay. And young Billy had been battling cancer for about 1.5 to 2 years, and just after a tough battle with cancer, passed away about 6 months ago. And we've kept in contact with Chris the entire time. A good friend of ours here at Texas Boys Outdoors. And we're going to get out here this morning with our buddy Captain Brent Juarez and chase these wintertime trout. So let's get out and hit it.
We're here in Galveston Bay. It's right at daylight. As you can see, it's real calm this morning. We got a bunch of birds working, and a lot of times this time of year especially, the birds will, fish got the bait pushed up, the birds see it, and so you can get kind of a fish finder. So let's see if we can get one going. Catch one right here. There he is. And there he is.
9-inch trout. Did you hear? Don't pull a muscle. Hey, first one of the day though.
Don't pull him up.
No.
The Sportless MVP experience with its awesome cup, massaging shampoo, and hot steam towel.
There you go.
Might
Nice
be
job.
just the edge you need.
Breaking the new rod. That might be the first keeper.
It's good to be a guide.
That's a good. That might be 15. Well,
in their lineup, and so are we. 5 exciting new.
That one might be. I think that's a keeper.
That's how you break in a new rod.
Oh, there we go. Double.
Nice job. Oh, Chris is a good one, man. Dude, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a keeper.
That's the biggest one of the day. That's it down there, that on the bottom, that heavier jig. That's the one I'll share a picture of. Nice, man. There we go. That's some pretty good action for a 2 piece especially.
Yep, another one on board.
I wish he could get out of it before the hook gets there.
He gonna get you.
Wouldn't it be crazy if a fish hits the bait underneath him? Oh, he got it. He's off. Now that is how you get a seagull undone like a Jedi. I could use a mind trick on him.
You can see we've had a really good time out here today. Been a lot of scattered fish. We found them early, then bounced around some, then found them again here. It's just, we've had a really, really mild winter so far, but then last night the temperature dropped back into the 30s again, so the fish were a little scattered, but as always, man, with Captain Brent Ward, we had a real good time, and I appreciate our friends at Lou's. Gonna hook up my buddy Chris Lee with a brand new, it's the American Heroes spinning combo. It's a great setup for bait fishing, lake fishing, so it's a good versatile rod. Certainly appreciate our friends at Lou's. You had a good time?
Great time.
Chris actually broke in the new rod and caught the biggest trout of the day, so can't beat that, man. I'm rolling Texas Boys Outdoors. We'll see you next week.
Well, howdy, this is Texas Roy. I started working with these guys about 4 years ago after I took them my first buck with a bow. I was amazed at the overall quality and how realistic my mount turned out. When you get that trophy that you want to show off proudly at the house on the wall, don't settle for anything but the best. Whether it's a full body mount, shoulder mount, or the $75 Euro mount, check out Taxidermy Designs over in Tomball, Texas.